Welcome to the Marmina Cast. Sometimes we talk about fitness, but usually we just talk smack. I'm your host, Mr. Marmina, and let's get on with the show. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Marmina Cast, episode 16. We're here today with Christopher. He's a Greek, and Greeks are the champions of the universe. Yeah?
Yeah,
All right, introduce yourself. Tell the world about Chris and all that stuff.
What do I say?
We'll touch on some motocross endeavors, your fitness origins, and we'll go from there.
Well, you start. You ask questions.
You have to introduce. I did.
Don't
The
worry
question is,
Don't worry about
introduce
introduction.
yourself.
Everyone knows who I am.
Oi!
You don't need introduction.
I feel like that's falling. Lift it up.
Lift it up.
Yeah, there you go. We're good. All right. You don't need an introduction.
No.
All right, I'll help
Everyone
you.
knows. Everyone knows.
All right, Chris is like a formerly avid motocross rider. He sustained I'd say that's a pretty serious injury through, was it mostly motocross and football? Or, no, it was definitely motocross.
It was motocross, yeah.
We'll talk about like a collection of injuries. The way actually I was formally introduced to Chris was, this is my mate Chris from my other mate Jai, and he's like, you know, he likes motocross, this and that. And then Chris is like, yeah, man, check out all these freaky injuries on YouTube. So I'm like watching all these messed up injuries. I'm like, this guy's going to kill himself. I just met him. Next time he's going to die.
Yeah, I remember showing you that actually, and I thought, haha, injuries for gays, because I never got any. Like, I was always, like, really good. Like, nothing for years. I had no injuries, and then I had, like, four knockouts in about 6 months.
What, from motocross?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Internal bleeding. Popped my shoulder. Now my knee as well. That's the big one.
All right, we want to talk to you. Talk about how you got internal bleeding in that.
Just being an idiot, going fast as you try, and then I've come off and pulled my arm down to save myself. Popped the shoulder.
Oh.
Handlebars. I've landed on the handlebars straight into my gut.
Yeah.
So it's pretty rough. I was on the ground in a bit of pain. Mate came and picked me up. My shoulder popped back in. Felt pretty good. Well, not really, but
as good as a shoulder coming out.
I woke up the next day. Couldn't move out of bed. Went to the toilet. Was peeing blood and stuff. Classic me. Don't go to the doctors because I never do. Yeah. Mum's told me to go to doctors, but I wouldn't. She said I'm such a stubborn asshole, which I am.
But I never go. Like, I can't be bothered, man.
I can't be bothered. Like, I didn't think it's that serious, you know?
Yeah.
If it was that serious, I'd need an ambulance or something. But
I feel like you would, though, piss and blood.
it was pretty bad, yeah. I was in a lot of pain, but it went away.
Out of 10, what was the pain like?
Oh, solid 8 or 9. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. I didn't need to go to the hospital. But the pain's like a solid 8 or 9.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, actually. I probably should have gone, but I'm stubborn.
I'm like, for some reason, I'm like, nah, it should be all right.
Nothing hurts me. Nothing makes me bleed my own blood.
Not even the bike.
Nah, nothing.
Where's the bike now? It hurt
Nothing
you.
tells me what to do.
That's it. Not even piss and blood and maybe 9 out of 10 on the pain scale.
Nothing. I actually went to work a few days later.
He told me that, which is a very interesting choice to make, but I mean, we all make our own choice.
Got to pay the bills, you know?
Huh?
Got to pay the bills.
Got to pay the hospital bills by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Far out.
Well, I'm going to have to for my knee, so.
All right, you want to talk about your knee for a little bit? How'd you do your knee?
That's a story. That's
what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
A story.
So I started a new job. All the guys at work rode motorbikes, so we have our family friend has a motocross track up in Newgie, so they knew about that, so they said, let's go for a ride, take an RDO for the day. I said, yes, sweet, took them up there. We're showing them around the track. There was a viewing point where they could see where you come from.
Yeah.
So on third lap, I thought I'd show them what I can do. Try to be a smart ass and do a little trick. Didn't work. Landed sideways on the down ramp. It was a sort of a step down, sideways down the ramp. Brand new helmet, $600. Smashed that up.
So you smashed a helmet to pieces?
Yeah. Smashed. I was knocked out again.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do. Bike was bent up, handlebars this way. We was facing that way. And my knees didn't feel too bad at the start because probably because just be a shock and stuff. Then the boys came running down to get me. Took my bike back up, and because it was the work guys, they're like, "Oh, you all right?" Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm sweet, but I was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like I was knocked down and stuff, so I was pretty green and yuck.
Green.
Yeah, like my face was all lost
Oh,
colour.
really? Like
yeah.
you just discoloured, like.
Yeah, I was pretty bad.
Shit.
But because they are the new work guys, I was trying to be tough. They're like, no, I'm all right. I'm like, you going to keep riding? I was like, yeah. So I did a few more laps. So I just put around, but...
But the knee was pretty screwed.
Well, I didn't really feel it too bad at the time. Both of them were a bit sore. Just felt like I'd knocked
But
them.
everything would have been sore. But you
Yeah,
smashed a
that's
$600 helmet, which is meant to be like
my
this.
whole body was sore, yeah.
Yeah.
So then the next day I worked, and I couldn't not go to work the day after.
Yeah, of
after
course.
Taking a day off to go for a ride. So I've gone into work and I couldn't bend down, couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
really.
like you couldn't bend the knee at all.
It was swollen, yeah, pretty swollen.
What a sport, mate. It's pretty full on.
That's why I've pretty much
So you stopped. Did you have, yeah, because we had this discussion, I think, the other day with Aaron, and I'm like, sometimes, like, you just got to, you got to weigh it up. Like, do you want to work and move, or do you want to, like, you know?
Yeah, well, I enjoy training and stuff too much. It stops training, it stops working, it stops,
Yeah.
it stops your whole life, really, when you hurt yourself, so.
That's it.
My grandpa would always say, what are you doing? It's stupid, dangerous. And I used to say to him, well, what do you want me to do? Just sit in a cardboard box and just look after myself?
Yeah.
But in the end, he's right. It takes too much of a toll.
Yeah, it takes too much of, like, I like the idea of, you know,
action sports.
doing all that stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then like how much? Like I need to move around and train clients. You know,
That's it, yeah.
you know,
For your business
so,
especially.
yeah. Some people say like you know you can train people and not move around, but
Nah.
but
No.
what am I going to do? Like, all right, guys, when I get
You set up your own weights.
like when someone's like not a beginner, it's fine. But then when someone's, you know, when someone's like not as advanced, I do need to be able to show them how to do things.
Yeah, otherwise they get injuries too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I obviously wouldn't be loading them up, so it's terrible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, yeah, I wouldn't risk it, you
No.
know? So I'd rather not risk my job and that.
Yeah, well, I went so long, like I said, without injuries. I went a good 2 years.
But that's
without
good for motocross,
anything.
man, because
Yeah,
like the
that's what
injury
I mean.
rate's very
I thought,
high.
haha, like I've got away with it. Everyone gets injured, but then I know as you try to get better, you try to get faster, you try to do more.
But you have to, though.
tricky
It's a bit like
things,
it's a bit like resistance training. Like there has to be some sort of stimulus. You have to like you have to progress somehow.
keep pushing it, and then that's when the injuries came.
Yeah.
And, so now I'm waiting for surgery on my meniscus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So you actually have to get the surgery. Like you couldn't just clean it all out and.
Nah, we tried. I got cortisone injections, got a little scope and stuff like that. Didn't work.
The risks associated.
Yeah,
you know, with all that sort of stuff.
Actually, my surgery was meant to be a couple of days ago, but I pushed it back for work because.
Yeah, and you got to do those things.
It's only close to the end of the year. I thought, wait, I'll get a month off.
These are like the realities of like doing athletic stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Because you definitely have to do that.
Yeah. So. I've pushed it back. I think it's start of January now, so because I have time off.
Oh, so it's that's all right.
Yeah, I have time off, so it sort of works well. I thought finish the year working because it's painful at the moment, but it's not as bad as it's been since I changed jobs and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a waiting game.
That's it. What can you do?
And this like I love training and can't really train legs too much.
So do you value your resistance training more than motocross?
100%.
When did you start like sort of shifting from one endeavor to another?
Well, I've been working out for a long time, since we were like 16 probably.
Yeah.
On and off here and there, but like always doing it, but just not as consistent all the time.
Yeah.
Then motorbikes came along and it just took over everything. I pretty much stopped training completely just to...
So you trained before motorbikes then?
Yeah, and then I started bikes and like I was just going to do it as a bit of a hobby, but then I started loving it and getting pretty decent at it. So I was doing coaching, all that sort of stuff. So I stopped training completely, but for really 2 years. Well, about a year. I was doing it for a bit when I started, and then I stopped training for about a year. Put on actually a bit of weight and stuff like that.
Well, I put on a bit of weight doing motocross.
Yeah, because it's, I was only riding maybe 2 days a week.
It's still pretty active. Like there's a lot of
very hard.
Yeah.
People don't understand riding motorbikes.
Because like you never really see an overweight.
You have to be fit. It's
100%.
Work. It's definitely hard work. But when I'm only doing it 2 days a week, and then I'm probably out eating what I'm training.
Yeah.
So I put on weight and like lost a fair bit of muscle because riding.
Yeah, because there's not that
bikes
stimulus.
It's more aerobic.
Yeah.
It's more aerobic than more strength, I'd say. Like you got to be fit to ride
Yeah,
bikes.
and it's just not a specific adaptation. Like it's the said principle.
Yeah.
You know, you never see a very and I actually would argue that being way too heavy would be counterintuitive to riding.
There's no jacked motocross riders because you get arm pump, all that sort of stuff. You need to be lean. You need to be
thin and lean. It's
Thin
like
and
it's
lean,
like all really like race car drivers and that. You never see heavy ones, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
They need to be light so they can travel faster.
That's it. Yeah, the lighter you are, the faster you go. So
Yeah, and I also make like other arguments about like physiological properties. Like you don't want the heart to be working so hard, pumping blood
Yeah.
around your body, especially racing like for that long and stuff.
Yeah, they do.
What's some of the longer races?
Well, they do. So it's pretty intense. And if you're doing motocross, they'll do 2 half-an-hour motos, which is
Yeah.
a half an hour on a dirt bike flat stick is a lot of work.
Yeah, that's heaps because you always
The track's super rough. You've got big jumps. You've got technical things. You're up, down. You squat. You're constantly squatting up, down, up, down.
Yeah, right.
Side to side. And at the end of the day, you do have a 100-kilo dirt bike that you are
Like moving around.
Like, yes, it's got a motor, but you still have to move the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
of
it doesn't
course.
just move itself. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah,
People think it's got a motor. It's not hard, but it's
yeah, because you
hard
actually got to like twist it and yeah, it'd be incredible. Like
yeah. Well, they've shown that, like they've done like studies and stuff, and motocross athletes are some of the fittest people that go around, like professional ones.
Yeah.
Because it's just your heart rate is constantly
elevated
with
from just the stress of getting on a
adrenaline
bike
and all that sort of stuff. It's just massive. So yeah, that's pretty full on.
That's interesting. I never even like. I mean, I obviously thought they were fit. I told you it's fallen.
Yeah,
How annoying is that?
Just making sure.
There, yeah. I don't know why it keeps falling. I've cracked it. Alrighty. So, do you think that in any way, like training helped with your motocross a bit, or were you not training enough to really warrant a response from motocross?
When I was training at the start of when I first started riding, it was pretty good. Like I found, like I've got mates that I was riding with that they don't train at all.
Yeah.
And straight away, I could do a lot more than them. Like
Okay.
I could ride longer. I could ride a bit better. Like I wasn't as wrecked at the end of the day as them.
Yep.
So I'd say that's a bit of strength because, you know, like I said, you're constantly picking this 100-kilo bike up, moving it around.
Throwing it around.
Even just when you're off it and pushing it around, you're still pushing around. It's like doing a 100-kilo sled. Like you're still pushing the thing around.
Yeah.
And yes, it's got wheels, but it's got resistance and you generally pushing it up or down hills or whatever. So it's pretty.
Yeah, that's full on.
We've had guys at the track, their bikes will break right down the very back corner. They'll break down, and you have to push this thing. And you got hills like this, and
imagine
three of you to push this thing up hills and stuff.
I was going to say getting to the places to ride would be full on.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. The whole thing, even just loading up your bike, it's like 100 kilos, putting onto a car, and it's just everything to do with it is pretty heavy.
So even outside of riding,
it's still
like
a lot
some
of work.
sort of strength and conditioning intervention is going to help you throughout all components of of motocross.
Well, the thing, motocross or more on a amateur level, motocross riders would never have worked out. They will always have been the punk rock music.
Oh yeah, but
skinny guys, generally, and they never really trained too much. But now, a guy I know who's another guy, he's started specific training for motocross athletes.
That's good.
And it's getting people in the gym
that's good though, because
everyone's doing it.
Yeah, really, like in general, strength and conditioning is like it generally prepares people to physically perform.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that even if you're a golfer or you play bocce or something, like you can bocce. That's the real shit. You can. Hey, don't heckle bocce, man. My grandparents will mess us up.
It's a game of your people, isn't it?
Huh?
It's a game of your people.
That's it. The game of my people. But yeah, like it's you know, I think that any athlete from an injury prevention standpoint, just a very general physical preparation standpoint, it will benefit all athletes.
It does, yeah, and that's what I mean. Now it's massive in people that race motocross. It's all about fitness now.
Yeah.
It used to only be about your bike or what bike you got, blah blah. Now it's headed more towards fitness now, and then what you have. Like, used to be you've got to have the best bike, you've got to have the best this. But now it's all about who's the fittest, who's the strongest. To be able to, it's changed. It's actually crazy in like the last, even just 3 years, I'd say.
So that recent?
It's, only recent.
That's full on.
And now, like even in the pros over in America, you know, they used to train here and there, but it was nothing like they do now. They've got sports scientists and like proper trainers and stuff every day. They're training every day, whereas they used to just ride. Now now they're probably equally training strength and conditioning as they are riding.
Yeah, right.
It's changed heaps. It's crazy.
That's good. It's good to see that sort of in every sport, like I said.
Well, you need it, and it's taken everything to the next level. Like as in riding, the fitter these people are, the faster they ride, the better the races are. So everything's just going up and up. Everyone's getting fitter.
That's
everyone's
awesome.
getting better. Yeah, it's pretty good to see actually, especially for someone who's interested in the fitness world. So
Yeah, because you got like two sort of got a sub hobby of riding. Because I feel like fitness is more your hobby now.
Fitness, yeah. Oh, it always had been. It was just I just had a bit of a break, but
Sometimes you need it. I'm a personal trainer and I need a break sometimes in fitness, man. Sometimes like I'll do like courses and seminars and lectures and like I'm like, you know what?
just
I'm
overload.
gonna watch some Netflix for 30 minutes just to switch my brain off. And I have to do that. Otherwise I'm gonna be like, you know, lose my mind. Like I'm losing my mind now about this stupid thing. Hang on. On to the next bit. All right.
Motocross, it hurts people.
Motocross hurts. I like it. What I want to talk about, because you went from like doing, if you do, I reckon if you just do that. If you hold it from the little rod, we're good. Can you smell? Nah, hold it like see that bit? If you just control it from there.
Yeah, just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
I better stop doing that. I'll fuck this one up too.
Where'd you get it from?
I can't say now. 'Cause it's not as good.
Yeah, but we're going to take it back to them.
I am going to take it back. Because you went from like doing a like bro-ish routine, and then we well, not me, but Jai from Hawley Strength and Conditioning threw in some I don't want to say like the word functional because I hate that word, but like things were a little bit more integrated and just returned balance to the program.
Yeah,
you know.
I was a classic sucker for like men's health magazines. Get shredded.
But everyone is.
Shredded in 3 days. Pack on 8 kilos of muscle.
3 days. That's shit, man. I'm looking for 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. Pack on 8 kilos of muscle in 4 days. So I was just doing very bro stuff like you said.
Which isn't bad
because I was only training probably 3 days. 3 days I'd say. But you know I'd miss a session. Say it was meant to be legs, and I'll just do chest again. So I was doing chest 2 or 3 days a week because that was my favourite to train.
Really? But you know what, though? It's funny. Like, a lot of people that, like, because you have, like, especially when, like, you train very consistently and we smash it.
Yeah.
Like, your chest grows a lot.
It does.
And it's so funny. Like, a lot of people that, like, have a body part that really just grows and does well with the stimulus.
Yeah.
They just keep training it.
Yeah.
Like, people with big
see
legs.
Results. Yeah, you see results.
Yeah, because you just keep seeing results. Like, fuck yeah, this is mad. And then the pump is awesome and stuff.
Yeah.
So you just keep training the same thing. And then you're like, oh.
But at the end of the day, it was making things worse. Like, my back was so weak.
Compared to you.
Yeah, well, when I started with Jai, I couldn't even do one row, TRX row.
Dude, that's pretty full on.
I
Like
could
one.
only get to like that, and he would like try to push me up. I couldn't get any further. That was locked out, max.
Really?
Yeah.
So like the range of motion was compromised.
Yeah, huge. Just
That's
from always
full on.
push, and never training back. It was just I was strong for pushing, but I had no.
Yeah, of course, because like you continually you always. It's doing my head. I reckon it's worse.
That's all right. I got it.
Hold.
Yeah, so it did the opposite. So now, after training with Jai and yourself and that, focusing on being well-rounded and everything, my back's now probably close to my strongest.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, your back hypertrophy, especially like when we were killing it, we were doing privates and semi-privates.
Yeah. Which we need to do again.
Hey?
Which we need to do again.
We will.
Yes.
I couldn't believe, like, just the hypertrophy that was going on. I was
Yeah.
far out.
Yeah, so...
Like, this is intense.
Yeah. Like, I think I'm a fast sort of a gainer. Like,
Yeah.
Which is good and bad in a way. Like, I look at food and I put on fat. I put on weight. Whereas I got my little wog cousin, he just eats whatever he wants and he's a stick. Skinny little shredded stick no matter what he eats.
You know what I've seen though in people like that, like when they start lifting weights and eating a bit more, Jesus Christ, they look good. Because they're just always so lean.
Don't tell me that, because I always makes me feel better because I think, nah, he's stuck like that. That's it.
Nah, man. Like, I mean, it's harder. Like, they got to eat a lot more, but who doesn't want to eat more?
I'd love to eat.
Yeah, I know.
That's my problem.
I know. We'll talk about that. Like, I remember we on another podcast. Like, I had another. I think it was Ben. It was Ben's podcast, and he's like, we you know, he's like, I can eat pretty well, and like I'm good, and I'm like I can eat intuitively. Like I'm pretty. And I'm like, man, I can't eat intuitively.
Nah.
Like, do you know what it's like growing up being a wog, man? All we do is friggin' eat, and I'm so used to being like 3 pieces of lasagna is freaking normal,
Yeah,
and I
that's
know it's
normal,
not.
yeah,
Like I
no.
know it's not, but even now I'm like, you know, like I can't wait till Christmas.
And you know, you lose a tiniest bit of weight, which is a good thing because you've been eating too much, and you go into your grandparents. Are you sick?
You're sick. You're sick.
You look skinny.
You're sick. Are you anorexic? You don't do that bulimia stuff.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Eat, and then
Eat
they just
manja.
and then
You
they
lost 10
force
kilos
feed.
before you go. You have to gain 20.
Yeah, what, you not love your yum?
Yeah.
It's like
Look, it's an insult.
it's an insult that you're not eating it.
You
Yeah.
don't love it no more. Manja, figure, manja.
Actually,
And I'm just
and
like,
they guilt you into eating. You just keep eating.
you just can't stop.
That's why when I was younger, I was so overweight from
Yeah, I was overweight.
growing up like that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
now, yeah, it's like I change week to week. Depends what I eat for a few days, or it changes my body
But do you-
heaps.
Your body, look, it's funny, like, fat cells, like, never leave us. Like, if we're very overweight as a child, our fat cells, I know, I
Bloody-
think,
I blame my yeah.
yeah, I'll blame I blame, but you know, I do, and then like the like, you know, health behavior guy in me is like, well, you know, it was your choice. Like, you made the decision to eat more. You could have just said no. And I'm like, yeah, but mate, all the research that says that, none of you are wogs, mate. You got no idea what it's like to say no.
Do I want to bring dishonor to my family by not eating, or?
Dishonor. They'll throw you off the edge of the cliff like 300 Spartans.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
kick you straight off. You got to eat. That's part of being a wog.
It's part of the culture, and it's
Like, very rarely you see a skinny wog. My cousin is an exception, but that's because he's just shredded.
no, not very. I don't know. I don't know.
Skinny wog.
Oh,
They're
not-
generally pretty solid.
We're pretty,
people.
yeah. We're a solid race.
Yeah.
The ethnics of
Yeah.
Australia. This is a good. This is great. But like I almost get a little bit frustrated, like when people are like, well, you know, and I do it to clients too. I'm like, you know, smaller portions. That's the
Yeah, yeah.
conventional advice, and you know, you really should practice that. But if it's literally been ingrained into my brain from the moment I was born,
yeah.
that eating 400 kilos of lasagna for dinner
I came out eating
and like
pizza.
8 slices of pizza.
I came
and-
out eating pizza from the womb. Just
yeah,
straight
man, I
away.
come out with a pizza. I found a pizza that wasn't digested in the womb, and I come out and I was like, Mum. And Mum's like, he must love me so much. He's eating already, you know. But to be fair, like, it wasn't my mum that was overfeeding me.
No.
It was definitely my grandparents.
Yeah, grandparents.
You know,
100%,
and the reason is, I think the reason is because in the war they had very little food. It's just the way. It's just the way it is.
So food is like a
Food, it was not. Now we the problem is we have too much energy and not enough moving.
Yeah.
But I mean that's not the problem, but it's one problem.
Plus, we generally celebrate with food. Celebrating
Yeah,
with
and-
food. So
And we all do a big cook up, and we
Yeah.
cook everything. We cook for, let's say there's 10 people, cook for 50.
yeah,
And it's-
exactly.
People think I'm over exaggerating, but I'm
Nah,
like not,
it's
because I'll probably
literally-
eat the same thing. Christmas,
Yep.
I'll probably eat the Christmas food for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, easy.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Without even hesitating, I'll be
Agreed.
living off ham. Oh, look at this bullshit.
Agreed. Yeah, it's
It's a pain in the ass. What is going on? Lift it up from here.
is that moving?
Lift it up. I'm keeping this all in to show the people ridiculousness, technical difficulties.
Show ridiculousness. Nah, we'll see. It should
That's
be
whack. Or
right.
just
I
keep
feel
doing
I
that.
feel weird.
Just keep doing that. See, it broke the chain of conversation.
Again.
Again,
It's wrecking it.
you've absolutely.
It's wrecking it.
No, we're talking about being ethnic and growing up eating too much food. And yeah, it's almost is a little bit ignorant because like if it's ingrained in your mind from a very young age to overeat, you know how hard it is to out-train that ability?
I was gonna say out-train, yeah. It's
'Cause
hard.
that's
it's
what-
a habit.
It's as full on, and it's not like a habit that like, you know, you've only been doing for a couple of months or like it's easy to break.
Oh, yeah.
It's a habit that we've been doing for the last 23 years of my
whole
life,
life,
and you're
yeah.
older than me, so you've been doing it even longer.
Yeah, no, I'm only 23.
What?
Just make it out like I'm young.
Whatever.
I'm getting
Is-
old. I
You're
don't
not
look
that
it.
old.
I don't look it, but I am.
How old are you? 35.
Not that old.
What are you trying to say? 35's old. What if we have 35-year-old listeners?
It's getting on a bit, 35. Like, you should be pretty well-rounded in your life by
Well-rounded, you'd have a very robust life by
35.
then.
Yeah, should. But I don't.
2 houses, 4 cars.
That's the goals. You have that. You have that.
Oh, yeah.
You're a
Oh,
successful business.
absolutely, mate, because that's what small business is all
You run a
about.
tight ship. That's good.
Huh?
You run a tight ship.
A tight ship?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's good.
It's very tight, like a tiger.
It runs well.
Got the crew members, me.
I'm just recommending it to everyone.
Oh, well done. I'm not.
Don't,
crap.
Don't come. It's shit.
It's shit. We have mic stands don't even bloody stay up. Alright. Oh.
No, that's on it. Right. Are we still talking ethnics or what are we doing?
Nah, screw them, mate. Oh, nah. My relatives will never watch this, but if they do, like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean he doesn't like eating?
Yeah,
I love eating.
You blame them for your problems. That's it.
I do.
I do too.
Look at me. I'm messed up because of that.
Yeah, look at me. I'm fat as hell. I'm overweight.
No, but it did make being a kid a little bit.
Yeah. Like I was really fat as a kid. Like really fat.
How much do you weigh? And how short? Like.
Oh, I was short. I was probably 5
foot.
5. just 5 flat. It's still what I am now. No, probably. I don't know. Let's go. I lost weight in about year 9. So let's say up to then. It was probably 5'2", 5'3".
Shit.
Pretty short. And probably 80, 90 kilos.
Man, that's nothing.
No, but that was no muscle, nothing. That's just fat.
In year 5, right? It's still, you know.
If you see a photo, it's
because you're shorter too. Actually, 90 kilos, 5 foot.
I look like Augustus. Willy Wonka, I did, legit. That's what my sister used to call me.
Augustus?
Yeah, so my sister used to call me.
God.
Yeah.
Which one's Augustus? Does he have the chocolate?
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with the
falls
chocolate.
into the chocolate thing and he...
No, actually, 5 feet, you know, what was it, 2 or 3, 90 kilos. That's a solid effort.
I was big.
Yeah, I think I was bigger younger. Then when I was in year 9, like, I was skinny.
That's just exactly what I went from being really overweight to being on this stupid just thing, I'm not eating.
Yeah,
I
yes,
didn't eat. All I would eat every day was one up and go, and that was it.
Fuck, that's worse than me. That's
I lost
pretty bad.
So much weight. I went down to about, when I started going to the gym, I was really skinny, and I was probably 49 kilos, I think, or 50 kilos. When I started at year 9 or whatever, and I was like, my arms were like this all the way down. I looked like an alien, really.
An alien.
Yeah,
That's
I was pretty skinny.
Oh, so I went from. I've talked about it before, but I won't touch on it too long. Everyone's like, he likes to tell his story about how overweight he was.
Well, it's a pretty good thing to have.
But I was 100 kilos in grade 5. 100. I remember I stepped on the scale.
That's big.
That's
big.
I was the big show.
In grade 5.
Well, that sounded pretty good. Get around
nice.
it. So I was 100 kilos in grade 5, and yeah, like I was very overweight. I had like a D cup man titties. Like, there's not meant to be offensive to anyone, but I was very overweight. I literally, and I laugh about it now, but at the time, I literally used to go home and just bawl my eyes out.
Yeah, me too.
It was terrible.
It's
you know what though? I actually think it's good that we can laugh about it now.
Oh yeah, now
because. At the time, it's emotionally traumatic to get changed in the change room, right? Yeah. And all the kids are like, fuck, look at those tits.
Okay, I never had that.
Really? Man.
Well, I don't think
I'm getting whipped with towels and shit. I swear to God. I don't
think I would have taken my top off, though, to be fair.
Yeah. I used to wear rashies and all these kids, all skinny and lean.
They got like abs and shit.
In like year 5, and I'm thinking, fuck, I'm fat as shit. But you know what? Like, I could beat them up.
Yeah.
Because I was big as fuck. Who are you, 50 kilos, mate? I'm 100 kilos in grade 5. I choke slam you.
Jacked in grade 5. Little Hercules in grade 5.
Nah, I wasn't Hercules, mate. I was like, I don't know what I was, man. I was just big. I was like the Blob from X-Men.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, actually.
It is rough. And kids can be so cruel.
Oh, bad.
Cruel little bastards.
Yeah.
And you know what's really funny, though? The kids that I see now, right? Oh, man, good to see you. I was like, you put me through hell, you piece of shit.
Dogs.
Like,
how quickly they forget.
Hey, you know what?
We don't forget.
I don't forget. You wronged me, just like that bike wronged you, made you bleed.
Nobody makes us bleed.
People really think we're like masochists, like forgive and forget.
We're a little bit psycho.
Yeah, well, our ancestors, your ancestors fought the Persian army.
Yeah.
Almost won.
Yeah.
300 of them, mate.
Yeah.
Only 300. One of them wasn't even like, one of them was like a mutant thing.
Yeah, that thing.
So you had 299 solid greki.
Yeah,
And
that was shredded.
They were shredded, mate.
Shredded.
See, none
Do
that
you
didn't
reckon they
overfeed
actually?
them.
Do you reckon they actually look like that though?
Nah.
back then? Nah, they did.
Nah,
They did. That's what's painted in my head. That's how they're staying.
Oh,
Greeks shredded.
Greeks. I think. I don't know. You'd have to look back at like the ancient.
Yeah,
sort
you
of,
got to think what they would have ate. And they would have been active.
They would have eaten like off the land. They're the real paleo dieters.
Yep.
Actually, no, they weren't because they were eating bread and stuff. Bread was like a royal, thing. Like if you could eat bread and you could have the wine and you were like up there.
bread and wine.
And Leonidas would have been like, Spartans. he would have been like a royal.
He would have been jacked.
He would have been jacked. I reckon he would have bench pressed his missus and shit.
They did just move boulders.
Kicking
around
Persians down wells. That's historic. Yeah, I reckon that actually happened. You know, I reckon Zach.
Well, I don't want to think of them as like skinny when they're these tough guys.
How
so-
disappointing, and it's going to sound very shallow, but 302, when they weren't all ripped, part of me was like, but they were ripped in the first one. Why? What happened?
Yeah, why they get so? I don't know. It
Just
doesn't make
less
sense.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
You can't go and make the movie about these ripped Greek people
And if anything, it should have gone from less ripped to more ripped because they're
because
more badass.
they would have had more advancements in training technology.
And they've just fought for like however long to kill all the
And surely,
things. So
surely,
they would have been shredded as.
Up
How many
until that-
How much calories burnt killing how many Persians? You got to think they would have come back and they wouldn't have had time to eat.
no.
Shredded.
And surely, killing. I mean, and surely,
Slashing.
yeah, you know, that's like some good.
Kicking.
Imagine the tries, mate.
Giving
Elbow
them-
extension,
Giving them a little jab here and there.
and just make it. And how is it to make the kids fight? That's good. That's how. You know what? When we all have
That's
kids,
how I grew up. That's
that-
how I grew up.
when we all have kids, we just put them in a pit together.
Yeah, just
And the
fight.
surviving
Yeah,
child.
only the fittest will survive.
I don't know if the wives would really approve, but
That's all right.
we'll work it out.
We'll have the strongest child at least.
Correct. And we'll have strong, very robust children.
Yep.
But
that's
then
it.
they go to
Strong
kinder and they're
genetics.
just like, ah! Punching up kids. It's just terrible. I'm actually not a psycho in real life.
You are a fair bit. Oh,
Can you stop?
I've heard a few stories. You go all right.
Oh.
No, he's a good guy.
No, I'm terrible.
He's fake. Nah, he's not really.
Oh.
He's not really.
That's good. All right, I'm back. I'm back to the real world.
Yeah, let's get serious.
I've out psychoed. What was that? You look at the notes.
There's no notes. What do you mean?
My impromptu. What do they call it? They've got like the little. You know, it's on like Oh my god. What's that movie with Bruce Almighty? And he's making him read a bunch of bullshit.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
yippity lap blah, 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 all this whack ass shit. It's so funny.
There's no notes back there.
Nah, none at all. I do not have a whiteboard back there.
This is fully just.
On the off the cuff, straight from
straight from the
creativity,
head,
straight
yeah.
from the head. You know what? It's not falling anymore.
Yeah, I fixed it.
You fixed. You did.
Because
Whoa.
I was doing the James
Imagine if
Bond.
you touched it and it fucked up.
Yeah, nah, it's dropping.
Is it?
Nah.
Oh, I had a heart attack. I can't believe. Why was that happening?
You got to take this back because it has rust
But how? I just bought it.
and it's inside. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Illuminati.
Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati's coming here. Like we shouldn't even
confirmed.
talk about that in a podcast because, like, what if
Mm,
you know there's a bit
we'll
of
end
a,
up dead.
you either wind up dead or you wake up dead. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What
Okay.
was next? What was next? I
That's
don't know.
it. No. We'll talk about what I was gonna say is like I said, it's that behavior change that has been ingrained in us
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Like I am born with the idea that this is normal, and I don't understand. You know, they say that there is actually health behavior research that does tell us when we can. Like when we can make our own decisions about food. I have forgotten the age.
Yeah.
So do not quote me on this age, but I think it's very early on. It's like 2 to 4 years old, I think. So at that time, it's not the parents' responsibility to. I don't think it's 2. I think it's a bit older, but it's still like pre-kindergarten or kindergarten. And at that age, we can make decisions about how much we want to eat.
Yeah.
But in my defense of that, right? Like I don't know anything else, man. I used to go to my friends' houses my Australian friends.
Oh, I'd be
My
so
Lord.
hungry when I
Oh,
leave.
I was starved. I used to stay over and we used to
So
get
what is
dinner.
this, a meal for ants? Like,
Like my Anglo-Saxon friends, you know.
Yeah.
And literally lunch was, I swear to God, I'm like, man, I'm hungry. What's for lunch? Like, none of them would make us friggin' pasta and, you know.
Yep.
And we would have, I swear to God, right, a chip sandwich
Yes.
with
like
a glass
potato
of
chip,
milk.
Potato chip sandwich with
Oh.
tomato sauce on it.
I was like,
What is this? Food?
I
that
need
was skinny.
meat.
They were all skinny
Yeah, but that's why,
because
man.
of malnutrition. That's why.
we can't. We had too much nutrition.
Yeah, we were over nutritioned.
Oh.
But yeah, my nephew, he's only 1.5 now, and he eats like, I'm telling you, he eats like nothing I've ever seen. He's all day. He's eating. You give him a whole chicken bone, and
Yeah.
he'll strip the thing down. He'll eat it better than I do. He'll eat
Good.
nothing
See,
but bone.
that's why you keep him. You don't
Give-
throw him off the cliff.
Nah, he's a strong one.
He's
he's
a real
leader.
deal.
He's a leader. You give him a T-bone steak, a big bone, he'll shred all the meat off.
That's mad. Yeah. He'll be a
Then he
strong
wants
kid.
dessert. Then he wants fruit. Then he just constantly, anytime you pick up one bit of food, hands out like he wants more.
But I was like that, and I have to say though, I think that's good. And
It's good because then you don't have a picky
'Cause-
child who's not going to eat.
yeah,
He'll
and
eat anything.
And you tell you what, this is a very good story to explain what I'm trying to explain. I had a friend come over, and he was very not cultured,
Yeah,
like I was.
Aussie.
You know, I grew up with the giant wooden spoons hanging in the kitchen, and
and that was the biggest threat.
people don't,
I copped some.
people don't realize how ethnic I think I grew up. And I grew up with legit in my nonna's house. We used to
Yeah.
have a house in Ray. I like a Ray. We at the back, right? We used to hang the fucking sausages
Yeah.
from the roof, mate.
Yeah, that's
From
as
the roof.
long as it comes.
That's it, mate. We used to cut them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
What
know,
you
lamb on the spit.
And
That's
then
nothing new. That's just
that's-
every weekend.
you know, and like, so we this friend come over, and I think we had tomatoes in a salad. I swear it was something like, he was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?"
It's a salad,
Mate,
bro.
it's a salad. He's like, no, the red stuff. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
"It's a tomato." And he's
you
like,
know
"Oh, I
what a
don't think I've
tomato
ever
was?"
had that before." And I'm like, "You've never had a tomato?" He's
How
like,
old we talking?
5, 6, 7,
Wow,
like primary school,
that's
early.
terrible.
I was like, what? But now knowing what I know about health science, like, children need multiple, like, and I'm talking a lot of exposures to the same foods until they eat it. And you have to find ways for the child to consistently eat that food, whether you put it in something they like,
Yeah,
so they're exposed to it, and then once you introduce it to them in its purest form, they're not shocked by the disgusting taste.
yeah,
But or they're just used to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's actually like introducing volume into a training program.
Yeah.
I can't make you. Actually, your training program was a very good example because we upped the sets on main lifts that we wanted to improve on.
Oh,
Right, and it was very hard.
It was
and we
good,
did
but it was very
4
hard,
weeks
yeah.
of accumulating volume, and then we'd back off, and we'd get that muscle supercompensation effect from the deload.
good progress though.
That you blew up like a
Yeah.
balloon doing that.
That's what we need to do again, by the way.
That was very good.
Yeah.
Do you train yourself still? No.
yeah, but
a little
it's-
bit.
It's just not. I'm not as much as I was.
And
when-
it's hard to really stick to a structure. Like not even I really. Like yesterday, man, I couldn't be stuffed. Like I was like, I feel weak and tired. So like I did trap bar. This is my. It's actually on my Instagram now, but it's like my lower body workout. And it was like trap bar deadlifts. I didn't front squat. Instead, I did a rear foot elevated split squat, and I did RDLs, which I always do, and then I did a sled push for calves.
Yeah.
Which
That's-
this is my rationale. And
No,
I did
that's
like
good actually.
10 sets. I did like it's just a sled push. It's about 20 meters. So 10. That's about 200 meters all up.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right. And for my rest, I just walked up and back on the track, and I sort of used it as like a self-regulatory rest. And I found I could get more out in a shorter amount of time, and in saying that, I would burn more calories and thus improve my physique if my goal was to get shorter.
it helps with everything really.
Yeah, so that was my little rationale for that. But where was I? Oh, it's like adding volume.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's hard to stick to a plan when you really don't have like something to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, come on, man, we're gonna do 6 sets today. You know, and people are going to think like we keep, but I think we got to about 6 or 7 sets for most things,
It was high, yeah.
and then we'd back them off.
But that's the way I like to train. That was wicked.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
I like doing higher reps, higher sets rather than super heavy.
And you don't have to be. Yeah, I feel like.
And I've got I'm not training for strength. That's the thing. Like
that's a valuable tool. Like it's valuable. It's valuable to be strong for the bodybuilding-esque person.
Yeah.
Because you need to get stronger over the course of your entire training career, but you don't have to be strong tomorrow.
No.
Just no, like you do not have a deadline of strength.
We did the higher reps and sets, etc. And then when it came to the challenges in the bench press, what I do one.
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive
Pretty
bench.
high, yeah. And that's just.
But in saying that, you do have like the structure for a solid bench press.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
and you have big pecs.
I did have. It's like
They're still pretty
they're
solid.
Deflated now.
Deflated. Just full of synthol.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I feel like that still helped a lot because
Of course it did.
even when you're pushing that much volume, it still builds up to be a lot of weight.
Yeah, and volume obviously volume isn't the be all end all for strength. I have two sort of trains of thought on it. And I'm not going to come to I'm not going to come to a conclusion. And I think it really it has to be specific for the person. Some people can tolerate a lot of volume, accumulate a fair amount of fatigue, and even in that state, they can progress and get stronger.
Yeah.
But others, like myself, I can only practice the lift so much before the volume accumulates into too much fatigue, and I can't really progress strength. But I can still accumulate more volume.
But yeah, your strength doesn't go
But
up.
the strength really, it's not gonna go up so much. But if that's not a goal for me at the time, and I really don't care, then I just don't care.
Yeah. Well, my goal is I just want to look better, really. Like
Me too. Like I want to be like injury-free-ish. I think it's very impossible to not have injuries.
Yeah.
Like people that don't get hurt, like.
There's probably a higher risk though lifting heavy. Do you reckon?
I in general I want to say yes, but I don't want to piss off the strength guys.
Yeah.
So
there's injury in everything.
There's injuries for everything. Like you could be doing.
You do.
Yeah. You can really do hypertrophy training in a very stupid way. But I'd make the case for even in research like there's the Brad Schoenfeld study. They did like the strength group and the hypertrophy group, and the hypertrophy group did 3x10, and the strength group did the opposite opposite of that, but they equated for volume. And the strength group did say like my joints feel pretty beat up, and it took a longer time for me to finish my workouts.
That was the strength, did you say?
The strength group, yeah. So, in saying that, with referencing research,
Because I was going to say, I found that when we were doing that super high volume, I started to get pretty sore joints.
Yeah.
Shoulders, really, mainly.
That's why we took it back.
We changed a few exercises.
The back volume, back volume, we had no problems.
Yeah, it was sweet, and it was just really shoulders, sort of.
But that's very common.
Yeah, because everything you're doing using upper, you're using your arms, you're using your joints and that to move. So once we changed a couple of exercises from less.
We started in the end. I remember
less
overhead movements
presses and more like the light
lateral raises and stuff.
And that helped heaps.
Yeah, I thought so. That's where everyone's like, you got to stick to like the big, basic, boring stuff.
Nah.
And that's what's really going to get you the progress. But I'm like, if someone can do that.
Yeah.
Because if someone can't do that, then we have to find other ways to facilitate gains in volume overall. And otherwise, we're just going to get sore and injured, and then we're not going to be able to do anything.
Which is what I was. I was at the stage where I was almost going to stop for a little bit. Because
I remember, and I was like, no, you'll be right. Like, all we got to do is just take it back. I think we did 2-3 sets of that sort of. I almost went like this. I think we did 2 or 3 sets of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the shoulder hypertrophy stuff, we just did lateral raises. We did a lot of shoulder finishes and stuff like that. I
loved that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I value it in training. The other day, I felt I was like, oh, my shoulders feel crap. I feel crap. I'm going to do lateral raises instead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a little bit. It's not so much of that, and it's not so much like that front delt, but it's still effective, and it's still a shoulder exercise, and I'm still going to use it.
We went lightweight. What were we doing? 8 kilo dumbbells and doing super high reps and
we probably did
setting straight raises with
just probably like a
raise with a lateral raise.
And we did 20 reps. I think it was 10 each.
No, I think it was 15 each. 30.
30 reps. Yeah, it might have been because there is research out there showing that as long as you take reps close to failure,
Yeah.
right, and it sucks.
And they'll burn.
That,
Oh my god. They will burn you.
that metabolite accumulation and metabolic stress is not so important for beginners, but it is a way. Those pathways are ways to facilitate gains in size.
Yeah. Well.
You just have to look for other ways to do it. There's a couple of trains of thought again. I just like to tick the boxes. We've got mechanical tension, so I tick that box. I'm like, it's all your sort of your heavy stuff. And you got like the metabolite accumulation and muscle damage stuff. We accumulate that through the program as well.
Yep.
And we tick all those boxes within the program. And I'm like, that's a pretty good program for hypertrophy, provided that we get this increase in volume over the course of someone's training career. And it doesn't have to be next week or the week after, but there needs to be some objective means of normative data of improving over a long-term period of time.
Well, I found, so my shoulders is probably one of my weakest looking muscles. Like if you just look at me straight on, I don't really have.
I think because your pecs were so.
Yeah, I don't really have the big.
The pumpkin delts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But doing that, I found it actually did change them a fair bit.
I agree. I actually
and they
do.
start, like even now, I haven't been training as much, but now they're constantly, I still train, just maybe 3 days a week. I'm not doing like I was. And they're still improved. Like we improved them and they've stayed like that.
I think that's when it gets a little bit individual and a little bit more like it's very general to say it's very general to like prescribe exercise for someone and then go from there. Like I sort of always undertake like a consultation and screening in my mind when I train people.
Yeah.
Like let's say in 4 weeks, in a month, you're like, you know what, my delts are popping and we've been doing less overhead heavy stuff and more light like metabolite accumulation muscle damage work. I'll go, guess what we're going to do?
Yeah, that's what we did.
I don't really, a lot of people have very complex means of training people, but I think the best thing to do is gather data. You can use measurements and stuff. The mirror is probably going to be like your best friend.
Yeah,
I think for aesthetics anyway.
Well, we changed it, because I just couldn't do it anymore, and for me it worked. Like you said, it's not going to work for everyone, but that worked for me because I couldn't do it anymore.
Look,
I couldn't even sleep at night. The pain in my shoulders.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I think I tried a little bit of that. I didn't do much overhead pressing, and my shoulders didn't look as nice.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, back to some overhead pressing.
Yeah, so that's what works.
But I can tolerate it.
Yeah.
Not everyone can tolerate heavy overhead pressing.
No.
So we have to find other ways again to facilitate increases in volume.
Yeah.
Pain-free, and we're all good.
Yeah, everyone's different. Like that's why you do what you do because you know what's going to work for someone else. You have to find what works for people. You can't just whack everyone on the same thing and go.
No.
Everyone's going to have the same results.
Well, in saying that, it is general physical preparation
to a degree. Yeah.
To a degree, but I've got clients. A very good example, actually, yesterday. Someone was like, my knee's clicking during these split squats, and I was like, brace the core really hard, breathe deep, and really show me that diaphragmatic breathing.
Yeah.
And really stay tight during the split squat because his knee was sort of sore. And I was ready to swap it out, but I was like, nah, I reckon it's got a bit to do with this. Yeah. And we did a split squat with the brace. And the clicking went away, the discomfort went away. He's like, wow, what was all that about? And I was like, to be honest, there's a very, very weird explanation for it. And I honestly do not understand how that works. It's more like we restore, we get stable through the entire system. Yeah. And then we don't get that discomfort. But that's I feel like there's more to it than that, and I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert in that sort of stuff.
It worked. Well,
it worked.
You tweaked it and it worked. So.
Exactly. Some people, all we need a little subtle tweak, and that's individualization at its finest. Like the other day, I had 2 clients trap bar deadlifting, and one of them trap bar deadlifted with. She was like, I don't really feel it in my hamstrings. I was like, get your hips a little bit higher, don't bend your knees so much, but keep your back straight and just keep your shoulders in line with everything. Yeah. Cool. Stands up, squeezes the butt. On the way down, I was like, did you feel it more in your hamstrings? Yeah. The other client, she's a little more upright, bends her knees a little bit, and shifts her bum back enough to really target the posterior chain. Stands up, squeezes her butt. That was good for her. We had the same exercise, but it was individualized for the person. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just tweaked a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think some people do individualization for the sake of individualization.
Yeah, just to be
like, this is an individualized program.
Yeah.
And I almost got caught into that trap, but I was like, why can't everyone do a deadlift?
Yeah.
Why can't I have people doing trap bar, kettlebell, sumo, straight bar, conventional deadlift. Like,
Yeah.
why? What would be the big problem?
Yeah.
I've never met anyone that can't do it to some degree.
Yeah, unless there's like a
Unless
injury
there's
or
some
something
really,
like that. Yeah.
you know, like you're not going to back squat.
No,
Or you're not going to do any squat, really.
Yeah, I haven't done squats for a long time.
Yeah, how
'cause of
can
my
you?
knee.
Like, the knee flexes, or the
Yeah.
knee flexion in general is screwed.
But
You know what I mean?
then you changed things.
We did hip thrusts.
And
We
yeah,
worked on
you
the
changed
glutes.
you like we weren't training legs really at all at the start, but you ended up coming up with something that put minimal tension on my knee.
Was it like I'm just trying to
It
think.
was a lot of machine work and a lot of instead of the
Machines are
big,
so bad, though. Machines are
Yeah.
not functional.
terrible.
Terrible.
Can't do
Oh,
nothing with
boy.
machines.
I think we did, I don't know if I forgot now, but I don't, did we do light knee extensions?
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
did, all right.
Because that's what the physios and that told me. I needed to strengthen quads and stuff for when I do have the surgery.
I really wanted to hit like the hamstrings and glutes.
Yeah.
You know, but I think they obviously told you that as well. And everything we sort of did, I wanted you to go back to the physio and
Yeah, no, what the program you gave for legs after we hadn't trained it for that long because I was worried about my knee was sweet. Like I had no pain, no discomfort,
that's good.
and I could still train legs, which I was happy because no one wants to look like
Yeah,
a bloody
a triangle.
yeah, which is what I was getting at. But it worked well. Like
And then obviously you will experience some discomfort.
like after a few days after, I'd have a bit of pain because I've just been moving it and stuff, but. It wasn't to the degree of like if I was squatting or something.
Nah.
I wouldn't be able to walk the next day.
you know,
so-
like back squat's a king. They're the king of all exercises.
Yeah.
The back squat.
Oh,
And I'm
I
like,
got- I
yeah,
got-
what? The king of all exercises for the person with a healthy back,
Yeah.
healthy knees.
I've got no booty now because I don't squat, so it's fucked.
That's it.
Actually,
When you get
it's
back,
actually
man, hip
inverted.
thrusts every day.
It's actually inverted because I can't squat. So what can
How
I
do you
do?
shit?
Rip booty. I
Huh?
say it's gone.
How do you shit?
I can't.
You
Because I don't
just-
squat.
You got to pull it out. So this is getting fucked.
I can't because I can't squat. So
Oh my god.
yeah. So but we just changed things like we just added different exercises instead of doing one big power movement like a squat. We just took it to leg extensions, leg curls, all that sort of stuff. So we worked every muscle individually rather than just doing it all in a big squat to
Yeah.
start. And I liked it. It was good.
I don't see the problem with that. Like
No.
if your goal is hypertrophy and not so much like certain movements.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, I really want to be good at squatting. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, guess what? Said principle, you need to squat.
Yeah.
But for someone who just wants to seek out gains in size,
Yeah.
that can be achieved through a multitude of ways.
Yeah.
You know?
We actually, with my program that you did, we made a fair bit of improvement, didn't we? Like I was big.
Yeah. Your
Big
quads did
change.
grow.
Everything did. Everything got leaner, but sort of put on a bit of size. Oh, just puffed up a
It
bit
was
at
good.
the same
It was,
time. Yeah.
that was very good progress we saw, but you were one thing, regardless of the program, is you executed the plan.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss a session. Nah.
I think you might have missed. No, you didn't miss them because you'd make them up later on in the week.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you did, like, you were training on Sunday sometimes.
week,
like
like
you were pretty keen at that
I
point.
think I was training 6 days.
Yeah, that's
sometimes
full on.
7, and that's probably why my shoulders and stuff started to get sore. Cause
Yeah, I didn't prescribe you 7 days.
it was a lot. Nah. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm not going to stop you.
But
Like,
then you changed. You said instead of doing, like so many days, take another day out. And put in an active rest day of ab workout or something.
because you just sort of want to be able to do something.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, an ab day," but it's not an ab day. Like it's a
was
rest
core-
day.
Yeah, and a
But we-
core, just a bit of strength.
Just
and-
like a fun day to like burn some
I
calories.
really liked
and-
it, and you're done in half an hour, 40 minutes, and you've killed yourself. Like, it was
Yeah, it's
massive,
hard.
Yeah,
Like a little circuit thing.
yeah you're
and
cranking
every-
everywhere.
There's so many people like circuits are useless and this and that,
Nah.
but it's like. For some people they are. Like I wouldn't prescribe them for everyone, but then
Yeah.
I would prescribe them for some people based on like their overall plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Yeah.
the rest.
It's all
of it.
about enjoyment, adherence, and
Yep.
progress.
Yep. So I mean, I'm gonna get back to that now. Like
Yeah, you gotta look after your knee.
I've had a lot of changes, obviously, in life the last probably 6 months, which has put me off training a bit, like because I haven't had time.
But that happens, man. Like you got to
Yeah.
count for life volume.
That's it. So, but now we're gonna start
Smash
it
it.
again. We're gonna do it again.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah.
Do
But I will come back to you to do it again. Like, I can't do it just myself. It's, you can.
It's hard.
You can
Even I
train
find it hard,
yourself
man.
and program and stuff yourself is to a degree.
Like
but
even my clients motivate me.
yeah, but by the time like just your help and always being able to answer the questions and stuff. Because how much did I message you? Like,
But you
far out.
should, and anyone can message you. Like, I
At
don't
any
care.
time, and always give me an answer, which was helpful. Like,
Yeah.
Like I'd be stressing about even just a bit of food or something, and you'd be like, just don't be stupid. Think about this, 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 and then it goes, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then it puts my mind at ease. It was really good, like
Thanks,
the way everything went. So that's why I want to do it again. I want to do it again.
That's
Proper.
That's not what I expected, but that's awesome.
Next level.
Thank you very much. Next level.
We went up a level, and then I want to do it
And then
again.
we took it to the next
And I
level.
want to go next again.
Do you have any closing thoughts or comments?
Nah, not really.
Motocross is dangerous.
Yeah, motocross sucks.
And
Nah,
wogs
it's
eat a
great.
lot.
Yeah. Try being us growing up and see how you look.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll close shop up there. What a bunch of technical difficulties. Now it's fixed at the end.
I know. It's perfect. It hasn't moved.
Son of a bitch.
Like,
All right,
the rust kept it in.
the rust.
That's right.
That's weird. All right, thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
We'll speak to you guys in the next one. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.